Welcome, everybody. It's your girl, Delores, just the pink girl in my pink world, here on every social platform with my good brother, J News. J News, you got something to say to the good people?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your good brother Jake News, back at it again for the first time in a while. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's been tuning in to their favorite wrestling companies and promotions and things of that nature and enjoying as to what's been going on. And yeah, got a bit of stuff to go through today. So let's get the show on the road.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over to the Hit the Rope Studio podcast. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, me and J News are over here. But you know what time it is? It's time. It's time for what? It's time for. Oh, wait a minute. It didn't even come up. Wait a minute, J News. They didn't want us to be great. There we go. Now it's time. It's time for a review. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we start off with WWE as we always do. And WWE had a show, Raw, on the first. It was 1697. Sorry, my eyes are playing tricks on me. The last time is now tournament semifinal match. LA Knight defeated Jay Uso. We had for the WWE World Tag Team title, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defeat the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. We had another last time is now tournament semifinal match where Gunther defeated Solo Sikoa, and we had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and with against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley ended a no contest because of shenanigans. Listen, J News, did you see any of this, and what did you think?
Um, what did I see of this? The tag match is what I caught from all this. I feel like I've been very lost in what's been going on in the tag team division over in the WWE. Um, Not necessarily knowing who's coming and who's going, uh, who's champion really, and things of that nature. And yeah, it's been very it's just been a lull for me when it comes to the WWE tag team division as a whole. The match itself, though, I think was exciting. I thought that they did a great job between the New Day, AJ Styles, and Dragon Lee, and that came together quite nicely match wise. Outside of that, I don't necessarily know as to where AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are going to go. I believe the Viking Raiders made their return to Raw this week or something rather of that day. I don't know. It's one of those
It's
things.
been a lot of coming and going,
Yeah.
and over the past few weeks, you remember it started like a month ago where they were hinting that Big E might be returning in some
No.
fashion or form. I found it ironic that this is the first time in a long time somebody hit the big ending on the pay per view last night. Oba hit the big ending on the pay per view, and I was like, wait a minute, that don't just come out of nowhere, especially for Oba to hit it. It's got to be something behind it.
I'm not too sure where all that stands. Just based on what Big E had to say in his interview on Stephanie McMahon's podcast about a month ago.
Yeah.
He basically stated he's retired at this point. We don't necessarily health wise. He's like mentally and emotionally, it seems like he's doing great, which is fantastic. But from a physical standpoint, because the neck is such a tricky thing, I don't want to put the wrong expectations.
But he can always come back as a manager. Or
you know what? I can respect your point of view on there, Dolores. What I'll say is that from watching him all those years, Big E without physicality is not Big E.
Yeah.
So it's that's why it's always tough for me or hard for me to watch him on those pre-show panels and stuff like that.
Oh
Like
yeah, that does get a little irritating when
yeah,
you.
because he's such an entertaining dude. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, man, Big E without the physicalities, like there's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough to watch, but at the same time, I'm glad he's still doing stuff within the company. I just don't want to give folks a false expectation and stuff.
Yeah, like he's actually coming back. No, no, no.
Yeah,
I mean, like in some other capacity to go against the New Day. Uh, hey, Tiffany Broswell. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Uh, happy to see you. First time seeing you in here. Thank you. So yeah, AJ, but you got to admit, I got to admit, the move him and Dragon Lee hit on Kofi, that was fire.
the
Because
combo into the Styles Clash thing.
yeah,
I saw. Yeah. That's pretty
yeah,
cool. That's pretty cool.
yeah. I was like, they need to let what do we call him? Uncle Allen get his stuff off more often because I know he has more than that in his roster he could do. And
Yeah.
then for the people online complaining and talking about, oh, well, he stole the move from the Young Bucks. Da, 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 da. Come on now. Can we just, I mean, we do the same move 60 times and label them something else. Okay. It was just the fact that we saw this in WWE from somebody that they had been holding back from being able to do fun stuff like this, that we were having an enjoyable moment. And then here comes Bowie fans always want to compare things. It's like, so what I'm supposed to do? Take the super kick away because Shawn Michaels did it. Now the Young Bucks can't do it. It's the EVP trigger. Come on now. It's all the same moves. Got different names, different ways of doing it. It was just fun to see.
Yeah.
So I did overall like this. But again, I must complain with WWE. Their build-ups to pay-per-views are trash.
Yeah.
They are trash.
It's been a trying time with the build-ups towards the pay-per-views and stuff like that, and there just seems to be a general sentiment of letdown and disappointment with the PLEs and the special events and things of that nature. I think over the week as well, there was some news and rumblings, not necessarily anything confirmed, but like news and rumblings and speculation about ESPN not being happy with their deal with the WWE and stuff
They
like
gave
that.
them a bad grade on one of the. I forgot which pay-per-view it was. They gave them a bad grade on it.
Yeah,
But
so
when I mean leading up, for those who don't know, we did a pay-per-view for NXT last night. That's what I mean. I'm mad about that because NXT had me looking around like, what's going on? Who is what? What is when? What are we doing? Where are we going? And then had a great pay-per-view,
yeah,
which I wish they had. And I like this pay-per-view more than I love uh War Games.
okay, that's okay. That's cool.
That's all.
What was the event called yesterday, Delores? 'Cause I didn't watch
Deadline.
it. Deadline.
Deadline.
All right.
Yeah, I
But
like this
yeah,
better than War Games, and you would think that the NXT wouldn't produce. Also, this we'll talk about it when we get there. This new character they got, Solomon Hill or something.
oh, I don't know anything
It's
about
like
that.
a fake Bray Wyatt mixed with some creepy stuff. Dude got his whole front tooth missing right here. He like hacking. And Jay News, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. He had a story leading up to how he got into football and what made him a tough person.
This
He
was
went.
on NXT.
It was on Deadline. This whole package was on Deadline.
Oh
He
wow. Okay.
literally he literally said, one day I saw a squirrel and I was like, I need for it to be my pet. And so I chased it down and I grabbed it. He said, then a football coach was like, hey son. And he said, the squirrel bit me and ran away. He was like, the man was like, you so fast. You tough and you fast. You should play football. And he was like, all I was thinking about was I just lost my pet. And he said there missing, like it's like a not just one tooth, it's a gap missing from his mouth. And he got like this wet, stringy hair. He's sitting in front of the computer with like uploading like hacking backgrounds. And then all of a sudden at the end of the thing, the computer starts to talk to him. Like he looks in the camera and it's just like downloading and trying to tell him, you are good, you're fast, you're I'm like, yo, what are we doing? And so
Uh,
he's supposed to debut Tuesday. I want to see what this crazy man is gonna look like.
that
But
that sounds
it sounds
that sounds like some mid
crazy.
'90s that sounds like some mid '90s Vince McMahon characterization stuff there. But
Yes,
to
he
cap
kind of
off
look
on
like
Raw,
Chris Canyon. Yes.
but to cap off on Raw, the John Cena Invitational Tournament thing has been super predictable. LA Knight won his match against Jey Uso. It seems like Jey Uso's having some sort of a yet again another identity crisis, another crash out type thing going on. I don't know where they're going with Jey Uso, to be quite honest. Gunther defeated Solo Sikoa. That was predictable as well. For one, I know I haven't been on in a while and stuff like that, so I just wanted to mention that I like the fact that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair have stayed together. I think this is probably the most interesting that Charlotte has been in quite some time. And for all intents and purposes, she looks like she's having a lot of fun out there, which is what I really like to see, specifically from Charlotte and Alexa. Yeah, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, they're both great as individual wrestlers, and them being together, I know it's a big thing for the WWE universe as a whole as well. So that their pairing has been great for TV and for fans. The no contest came like Delores said, in due to shenanigans. What was it? Lash Legend and what's the girl's name? Um,
Nia
uh,
Jax.
Nia Jax. There you go. And Nia Jax, they came out and they blew up the entire match there as they continued their beef with those ladies, as well as the Kabuki Warriors were involved in that in those shenanigans as well. So all those, it seems like those four teams are surrounding each other in their own beefs, going after who's currently the Kabuki Warriors are currently the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So those four teams are floating around that particular division there. And I believe this was the week where Braun Breaker had his breakout promo, Dolores, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, where he made a whole big shtick and he went after CM Punk, correct?
Yeah,
That was-
he shot his shot. Now this is what when we get to Friday night, this is the opposite of what happened with Solo. Cause Solo was supposed to be his breakout promo was more like, man, really? Like it wasn't that great. And so it got a lot of attention and buzz, but it wasn't that great.
mm, okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go to the back, way back to the back. And we're gonna go over to NXT. NXT also had a pay-per-view today. We're gonna talk, I mean yesterday, what we're gonna talk about. It was episode 814 on the CW. I had blocked out because I still had to go rush stuff. But Thea Hale defeated Ariana Grace. We had Josh Briggs defeating Tavion Heights. We had Kendall Gray, Lola Vice, and Sol Ruka defeating Fatal Influence of Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and Lonnie Reed. We had OTM, Bronco Nima, and Lucian Price defeat Chase U of Cal Dixon and Connors. We had Javon Evans, Joe Hendry, Leon Slater, and Miles Bourne defeat Dark Slate. We had Cutler James, Deion Lennox, Osiris Griffin, and Shaquan Sugars. Did you see this J News and what did you think about it?
Um, so a couple of pieces here. First off, the last time I was on, I mentioned how I have been loving the fact that Thea Hale's back on TV. I'm going to continue to go down that road. I think Thea is a shot of adrenaline and energy onto NXT TV, and I feel like they should continue that. Even if it is with Joe Hendry, I have lost my vigor behind the Joe Hendry stuff at the end of the day. But they're going to keep it going for as long as they want to keep it going. Joe Hendry is now officially a part of the NXT WWE family. He's no longer with TNA, so there's that part of it. But I like that Thea Hale's back on TV.
Like when they're making a big, because they mentioned it in the pre-show of Deadline that he showed up on the main roster uh online.
Did he?
Yeah, that they talked about on Deadline. It was like, and Sam Roberts was like, oh, it was a big fuss that he showed up on the main roster's page online. And that was the first time I had, because I've been in and out. I was like, wait a minute, what? And y'all are mentioning it on NXT? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm not too clear on that. I used to have a real affinity for Sam Roberts, and over the last couple of years, I use him to keep updated on what's going on in WWE stories because he has a very unique and compelling way of keeping people locked into the WWE stories. But the shilling nature of his programming is just a bit much for me. When I've always known him to be a general fan of professional wrestling, the WWE centered stuff, I get it. They cut the check, so it is what it is. But it just becomes to be a bit much at times. So I just wanted to say that. It was interesting to see Ariana Grace back on the NXT TV. It had been a while since me personally, since I had seen her on NXT TV. She's paired with Channing Lorenzo, who is her real life boyfriend, and things of that nature. Stax might have had some flashbacks after yesterday's return on Deadline, from what I saw. So we depending as to how or where they want to go with that return, we'll see, and we'll get there when we talk about Deadline. They still got Josh Briggs going up against Tavion Heights. I don't know how many times we're supposed to see that match on NXT TV. It's just been too much in my estimation. The breakout star of the WWE Women's Division is a young lady that is currently the Evolve champion, Kendall Gray. That young lady has been taking NXT and the WWE by storm. Much props to her. She stands out so much outside of the other girls in that division because of her physicality and just how fluid she is in the ring. Not knocking the girls, it's just the style. From an in-ring style perspective, you can see just how ahead of the curve she is of some of the girls who've been there for a few years. And Kendall Gray's only been doing this for less than a year from a pro wrestling standpoint. She's got an amateur wrestling background, and she's been able to take to pro wrestling very quickly. This the multi girl match that the ladies had here. I think it has something to do with the Iron Survivor match or something to that nature.
Yes. All of them except for the women from Fatal Influence were in Ren Sinclair were not in the match, but
right.
Just overall, the women that were on the show pretty much or had segments were also in the thing. But we also found out that the person they set it up for the person who won the match between Ricky and Oba with they talked about defending it against the Iron Survivor, but then Friday night we found out that the person who won that match would face Cody Rhodes on Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, that was an announcement made by Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis on a backstage SmackDown segment or whatever the case is. We'll get to that. I wanted to touch on these last two matches real quick. OTM, who was a tag team, a long-standing tag team on NXT, Bronco Numa and Lucien Price. I don't know where these brothers going. I've got no idea.
So they lost Jada, they were gone.
Yeah, like and mind you, Jada's been gone. I don't know what's going on over there with her specifically. They had been really pushing her and spotlighting her for a long period of time, and she seemed to be one of the next lady stars up. And it seems like she's dropped off the face of the planet recently.
Well, I would say allegedly there are rumors that you have extracurricular activities. Sometimes things pop up. And
Wow.
so, sometimes, you gotta take a Naomi time off. So there was some concern about that because somehow a lot of fans, even when Naomi pointed out that there were some things that looked a little different. And so she came on after the initial rumors, then she just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I'm not clear on what's going on there, but hey, I just know that she hasn't been on TV. Then at the end of the day, I just wanted to say about OTM. I don't necessarily see the I
They
don't
jobbers at this point.
I don't see it with those boys. I just don't. At the end of the day, so I'm not too sure as to what they're gonna do with them on NXT going forward. The Chase U guys, uh, they also look
Dead
like
in the head.
inherent talent type dudes too. So it's like you had two acts that are gonna basically be doing the same thing in their WWE career going up against one another for the sake of what I don't know. And then the same thing with the men's side here, the main event of the show that had to do uh, with what was going on with the Iron Survivor match as well. So there was that of it. And yeah, I think the one backstage segment that I could recall um, was the one between Soul and Zarya. They're finally getting to the crux of the story between those two. So we'll see how that goes about. It seems like their relationship is deteriorating and breaking down.
Oh
There
yeah, they
might
had a thing before the match on when we talk
yeah
about deadline.
there
It
might
was
have there
weird.
might have been some fire physically during that women's match there because it seemed like Zarya took out Kendall Gray, I believe, uh,
Yeah.
at towards the end
But
of the match.
but what you so Ruka was standing in front of Kendall,
Right.
so it looked like she was aiming at Soul
And so
when she
Ruka,
took
yeah.
out Kendall.
So they're definitely trying to intimate or imply as to what's going on between
They
Soul
took
Ruka.
it back, and we'll talk about it. They took it back, and I'm like, for what reason? Also, just a heads up, I would like to say with the pay per view, Booker T deserved to get out for what he said about Miles Bourne. He
What
might be
happened
deaf, but
now?
he sure can see. And I was like,
Uh,
listen, you didn't have to say that, sir. You didn't have to see that. I was sitting there looking like, and I literally said on the live, like, I know he just didn't say that, but he did. He did. You know, Booker does too much, and that was a moment he did way too much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go. Oh, also, let me come back real quick. Shout out to my cousin Roderick who went over there on Facebook and gave us a like. Thank you. I appreciate you. Support your cousin. That's great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go way back to the way back. We're gonna go on to Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown was on the 6th, not the 6th. It was the 5th. I don't know. I don't know why I said the 6th. 5th, and we had uh, wrong people. I don't know why I had that down. Let me see. Let me go back and give you the right people because I don't know why we tried to double it up today. And I just had saw them. Just had saw them because I watched it yesterday before we went online. Let me go. It was 1372. Let me go make sure because I like to make sure you all keep up with the know. Okay, on the 5th. We had, let me go back to the other screen. Okay. We had for the WWE United States title match, Ilya Dragunov defeating Carmelo Hayes. We had Alexa Bliss defeating Kyrie Sane. We had a non-title match where Jade Cargill defeated Abel Fire. And for the last time is now final match, Gunther defeated LA Knight. Yeah. J News, do you got anything to say about this? Hey, Tori's brain, how you doing? I appreciate you.
hey Tori, how you doing, brother? Just off of SmackDown. What was on SmackDown that I saw? We talked about it earlier, Dolores, or we
I know
touched
you
on it.
watched the Ilya Dragunov match.
I didn't watch SmackDown, the show within
Oh,
itself. I watched some of the highlights and stuff like that. I didn't get around to watching the Ilya match against Carmelo. I wish I did. I'm
Yeah.
sure those two young men have been putting on great matches since their days on NXT. So I'm sure they put on a banger of a match on SmackDown. Um, so I'll go back and watch it when I have time. Like I said, we touched on it before. The Cody segment backstage, we had a segment where Nick Aldis was in his office, basically talking to Ricky Starks and Obafemi. They were wondering as to why they were in Nick Aldis's office. Nick Aldis was there to make an announcement to the two of them, but not directly from him. It would be from the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came in and basically told Obafemi, whoever wins their match at Deadline would face Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event. Going forward, we'll talk about as to what happened or the result that happened at Deadline. But for folks who don't know, Ricky Saints is a very close friend of Cody Rhodes. So online speculation started to bubble, and then the writing was on the wall the entire time when Obafemi came back to NXT. And we'll get there when we talk about Deadline specifically. Saturday night's main event, John Cena's last show, is to put the Rocket Pack on all the younger and newer talents that will be taking the WWE into the future. And John Cena has a specific vision for what that's going to be with certain talents. And we'll see that come to fruition on Saturday night's main event. But that happened backstage. Also, Cody was involved in another backstage altercation where he basically tried to snatch Drew McIntyre bald in a car. So that went down there as well. As for the matches, Gunther beat LA Knight, so Gunther's going to be the one to win. He wins the John Cena Invitational Tournament. He's going to face John Cena Saturday night's main event. And the other matches didn't necessarily stand out to me from anything else that I saw highlight wise. But what about you, Delores? What did you see? How did it all break down to you?
For me, it was, again, I figured Gunther was gonna win. That was just a no brainer in it all. But I didn't. Jade has been doing better in the ring than I expect. I mean, I still want her to pick up a little bit more, but I think she's still doing, from my understanding, she's still doing some training with Cody and CM Punk and them, and she's gradually getting better at the things she's doing, but she should be by now at a little step further than what she is. But I understand that coming from AEW, she was just like kind of like Goldberg. I just do these few little things and that's it. That's all I got to do. Tap dance to this and that's it. But she's learning she's gonna have to sell more, get out more moves, do more exciting things than just the same old, same old. Because if you're a WWE fan, once you've seen it once, twice, three times, you're like, okay, can you do something else? That's the best example to put it is that Jay News hates Sean Skywalker. Okay, and we have a different opinion because he cannot stand that man doing that little tightrope every single match. Whereas I can laugh at it and think it's funny because I'm like, oh, here we go. He about to do it again. Jay News, it eats his soul alive when this man jumps up on the tightrope to walk across there. Okay. So I think at a certain point, you have to realize that if you just still doing the same pump kick, say like Jade move, you it's getting a little tiring. You done seen it before. So she has to come out with something different. She has to try some new things. And I think this is the point where she's beginning to do that a little bit more. But to the back we go, and then we're gonna go over to Deadline, ladies and gentlemen. Deadline. We had a watch along for Deadline. Thank you for everybody who came out, all the people who touched the replay. We had so much fun. We played games. But I really enjoyed this show. And let me tell you about this show. We had for the title match came first. So we had for the WWE NXT title match, Obafemi defeating Ricky Saints. We had for the WWE NXT Women's title number one contendership, Iron Survivor match, Kendall Gray beating everyone by seconds. Her last pin was seconds before the 25-minute mark. Defeating Jordan Grace, Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice, and Sol Ruka. We had for the WWE North American title match, Ethan Page defeating Mr. Iguana. Boo. Izzy Dane defeated Tatum Paxley. And for the WWE NXT title number one contendership Iron Survivor Challenge match, Javon Evans defeated Deion Lennox, Joe Hendry, Leon Slater, and Miles Bourne. What did you think of this, Jay?
So, I want to say that Obafemi's match against Ricky Saints went better than I expected. One. Secondarily, like I said before, or like I implied before or intimated before, I'll say it here. Obafemi winning was a foregone conclusion. Um, yeah, there's that of it. I was surprised with the outcome of the women's Iron Survivor match. I was surprised by the winner. Will I say that they chose the wrong girl? Not necessarily, because like I was stating before, Kendall Gray is on fire right now, and she's been doing very well since she's gotten on NXT TV over the last month. And it seems, like I said, seems as in the optics of it all, it seems like Kendall Gray has leaped over a lot of the young ladies on the NXT roster right now, and they're putting that proverbial rocket pack on her back right now, and they're shooting her to the moon. And good for her. She's a very young girl. She is steady on the mic. She's not great as of yet, but she can hold her own. But she's fantastic in the ring. So we got to give her credit where credit is due. I will say a couple of things about the other ladies involved in this match. I don't know if you're at where I'm at specifically, Delores. I don't know what Jordan Grace's place on the WWE roster is right now. I just don't.
Okay, so that goes into after the match.
Mm-hmm.
She tweeted out some things about. Essentially, it came out like I'm a loser. I can't get it done, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where she doesn't really know her place in the NXT. So either that's her setting up to go to the main roster, or that's setting up for her to go this woe is me. I'm gonna either turn heel or be dastardly because I cannot continue to not
That
get my just due.
can I just say that seems to be the WWE solution to everything that they find to be an issue or a problem or something that they can't crack when it comes to their on screen personalities. They feel like if the person isn't working out as a babyface, let's just turn them heel and see if it works. A lot of the time nowadays, that doesn't even work. And for all intents and purposes, the main reason as to why I feel like Jordan Grace's run on NXT has been subpar isn't because she's a babyface. It's because they haven't been booking her right at the end of the day. And that's my biggest problem with how Jordan Grace has been booked and placed and profiled on WWE/NXT TV. She came in with a lot of hype, well-deserved hype, because Jordan Grace is fantastic. She should have been on the main roster. She shouldn't be out here on NXT TV putting over these younger girls. Jordan Grace has been doing this for a while already. And I feel like they've misplayed this tremendously with Jordan Grace in the WWE. That's just my personal viewpoint and stands on that. Kalani Jordan, she's a nice girl. I just can't get behind what's going on with her. I'm not feeling it. Is really what it is. It's not her booking, because obviously she was booked to be TNA Knockouts champion. They've been putting her and they've been spotlighting her and things of that nature. She's solid in the ring, but for whatever reason, I just haven't been able to get behind her. Lola Vice is Lola Vice at this point. They know what they have in Lola Vice. I don't necessarily know what other buttons they need to push with Lola Vice at this point. They're just waiting for God knows what with Lola Vice. The
Nobody's
timing,
going up to the main roster with her man. That's what you
yeah,
gonna do.
the timing of it all, when it comes to certain acts with the WWE, is a, it there lacks a lot to be desired when it comes to them pulling the trigger on a lot of acts, and I just wanted to put that there. Finally, Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka was my favorite going into this match. I thought Sol was going to win this match, because of where Sol has been on the card, how she's been booked, how she's been profiled. But I'm assuming, my assumption is, based on storytelling elements and beats, that Sol's going to go into her feud with Zarya one-on-one without a championship being involved there, which is fine. They need to blow that off. They hung on to that particular storyline long enough. Now they need to blow it off. That's fine. And I just wanted to state that I thought Sol was the favorite going into this match, but it was a pleasant surprise to see Kendall Gray win the match. Not interested in anything Ethan Page has going on in NXT. I'm just not. I'm over Ethan Page. I don't. It's neither here nor there at the end of the day with Ethan Page. And Mr. Iguana is still Mr. Iguana. Has been for years.
Now,
Entertaining as hell. And to put him in this particular, I understand what the spotlight was supposed to be for him. I'm not too sure as to if it did anything for him necessarily. Specifically because it had to do with Ethan Page. That's just my personal take of it. The Izzy Dame match versus Tatum Paxley, I felt like there should have been more to it. Something in the match felt short for me. And Izzy's still just not a believable heel from promos cut, the way she wrestles in the ring, she's just not believable yet. There's still a lot of work to do with
it's a woman thing, because as a woman, as an objective wrestler, I could say I could not believe her. But as a woman, we've met that type of woman before. That's nice, nasty. That's her character. Is nice, nasty. Like, oh, I want to help you. I want to be your friend. All the time she's stabbing you in the back and she don't like you. And then even her out there begging for help, like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. We should be friends. We should be friends. It was, I really don't like you, and I'm just pretending so I can get my little move in when I can. It's always, you can always tell she was not her friend.
Yeah.
When you got that type of friend that even people want to say them, like, she's not your friend. She's like, I'm your friend. I'm nice to you. I care about you. Nobody else cares about you. It's like for women, it's a real life story tale, because we've had that person that somebody has warned us about, and yet we look them in the face and they go, I would never make you choose. Me and you are friends. And then come to find out they the person that stab you in the back the most. Hey, David Lopez, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just not sold on Izzy Dame. That's just me. I think Tater's great. I think that I've said this before, and I say this about different acts and different companies. Tatum Paxley, for me, doesn't fit the WWE mold. I feel like she belongs elsewhere. Elsewhere as to where, I don't know.
Who is the girl that passed away that kind of reminds me of Tatum Paxley?
Passed away? Daphne?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She reminds me of Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they're trying to mold her into that. The only thing I did not like about this match was the match was good. The announce table spot was great. It was the moment that everybody else got involved and then we were pulling heads off dolls. That's the moment that I was just like, we doing too much now. Come on now. Like, she is creepy, she is weird, but the fact that you took a doll that really doesn't look like her, you could have paid money and got a doll that looks like her and snapped the head off of it. And she's like, oh my God, I'm shocked. And then she goes back to the ring and gets rolled up. It's like, we could have did without that. We could have had her come in the ring and then get kicked or rolled up without all the extra stuff added onto it.
That's why I said it lacked something. that match, especially with how they had built that story around Izzy and Tatum and things of that nature. So that match fell flat for me. And the main event match, which was the men's Iron Survivor match, all I have to say is that the right person won. We finally got back around to telling the story that was supposed to be told. It's Javon eventually beating Obafemi. That's where we've been trying to head on NXT for the last year, and the young OG got his win, and hopefully he gets to take that belt off of Obafemi sometime sometime in the near future, because that's what
It's
we've been.
gonna be New Year's Evil on the 6th, in which they will fight for the title.
There you go.
What I was saying before, because I had to look it up to remember. Jordan Grace, after the match, she started a tirade. She said, "My best isn't good enough." Then she showed when she tried to do the 5 knuckle shuffle, and then Kalani knocked her out of the way. She says, "I tried, John Cena." Then she got a picture of her in the mirror, and then she says, "I got to lock in for real." And I'm looking at her like, okay, so all these tad little tweets. We need you to go in there and be who you are. Not this like, woe is me. I don't have it. It looks like her and Kalani went back and forth about 30 some minutes ago, and they're going to be fighting on Tuesday because Kalani told her she need to be locked in for the L she gonna get on Tuesday. So so this is her new thing. Like, woe is me. I did appreciate that we had that segment where Ricky was like, "Listen, I tried my best. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I could have did," because he seemed like he went in there and instead of dropping him on his head 4 times, he was like, he gonna be expecting it. I need to do something different. So he tried something different. It did not work for him. So then he talked to the young OG. He's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And then Javon's like, I'm gonna go out there and win it. He's like, okay, do that. Because essentially, Javon was like, I'm gonna give you your shot again if I win. So I got to go out there and beat Obafemi. I really got to go out there and do it. And when he won, it was like, okay, this is full circle. But the full circle moment is, OG, are you gonna win at New Year's Evil, or is Ricky gonna screw you at New Year's Evil?
We'll see.
Because not everybody is everybody's friend backstage. And
Yeah.
Ricky was hurt and sad, and you up there talking about, man, I got a chance. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for the both of us. And he's like, the both of us. I'm trying to win this back, okay? Not us. This ain't a us thing. It's a you trying to win. I'm trying to win too. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I also appreciate that the Ethan Page Mr. Iguana thing comes from Lola and Iguana teaming to go against Chelsea and Ethan and AAA. And so they just kept the story going where it's like now they're into it. But also on AAA, I haven't been doing watch alongs for it. We're gonna get back to it at the first of the year, talking about it even when they don't have big pay-per-views. Uh I don't forgot her name. Mr. Iguana's girlfriend on TV is now beefing with Lola Vice.
I forget who he's teamed with myself. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, folks. Yeah, I forget who he's teamed with.
And so because she feels like them two are together, they had a segment I watched the other day where she comes to talk. He is talking to Lola, in the dressing room, and she's up there, she's twisting and turning, and he hears his quote unquote girlfriend coming. He shoves Lola in, closes the door, and she's like, "Oh, I want to go out for something to drink." He's like, "I'll be there in a minute. Just give me a cheddar." And then as soon as she walks away, he opens the door and continues to like flirt and talk with Lola. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like this. It was the point where I booed Ethan is when he spit on Layeska and throw her out the ring. I was like, you know what? You hateful. You
Yeah.
mean you have to do that woman like that? That's bad. But
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention what happened at the end of the men's Iron Survivor match. Obviously, Javon Evans won the match. At the end of the match, after Javon Evans wins, Obafemi comes out at the entranceway. to make his presence felt. Basically, Javon Evans trying to climb the mountain that he's climbed before, but this time reach the mountaintop between Obafemi and Javon Evans. The lights go out after Obafemi makes his appearance. We then go to the Tron, and we see a man walking on a bridge. And all of a sudden, once the light comes on, there's a spotlight inside the ring, and we see the return of the one and only, the Don. Tony D makes his return to NXT. He takes out Javon Evans rather quickly, and he stares a hole into Obafemi. So it seems like Tony D is back to get his revenge on Obafemi for taking him out all those months ago. And he's not going to let anybody get in his way. So we might not see the young OG get his win over Obafemi anytime soon. But Tony D has got to close this chapter with Obafemi. And Javon Evans right now, he's just in the way. So it was cool to see Tony D back in the ring.
Somebody online was like, why would he choke slam Javon if he going after Oba? And my thing was, I'm in there staring the hole down to my enemy, and you walk up and like, let's shake hands. You gonna get slapped too. What are you doing?
He's in his way.
Man was mad, and he looked you up and down like, what you trying to do? And you was like, come on, let's shake hands. Come on, OG, you deserve that little choke slap you got.
Tony D's back, man. So Tony D's got a couple of scores to settle. Obafemi being one of them. I feel like they left some meat on the bone with his compatriots that were part of the family, that being Stax and I don't even know if Crucifino has been on TV in recent weeks and things.
I haven't seen him. I don't remember seeing him. But
and a lot of people still hurt. So that is what that is. But I'm sure Tony D is going to have his revenge and come up against Obafemi, and finally lay Stax out for what he did to him and all those months ago. But it was cool to see Tony D back, man. I was wondering if he'd come back and there was no news on him necessarily being injured or anything of that nature, or rehabbing or anything like that. So it was cool to see him back. Good to know that he's it seems to be that he's healthy and things of that nature. So hopefully they'll be able to put a bow around those storylines that he had unfinished on NXT TV.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go way back in the playback. We're gonna go over to AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and their first show of Dynamite. Dynamite was on the 3rd on CBS HBO Max. We had a non-title Continental Classic Gold League match where Kazuchika Okada defeated Pac. We had a Gold League match where Kyle Fletcher defeated Kevin Knight. For the AEW Women's World Title Tag Team Title Tournament semifinal hardcore holiday match. Death match, sorry. Listen, Tony, stop with these long titles. Just give me something short. Timeless Love Bomb of Mina Shirakawa and Tony Storm defeated the Mega Problems of Marina Shafir and Megan Bain. We had the Ops of Hook and Katsuri Shibata defeat the Dark Order of Alex Reynolds and Evil Uno and John Silver. Excuse me. Continental Classic Blue League match with Claudio Castagnoli defeating John Moxley. Jay News, did you see any of this? And what did you see? What did you like about it exactly?
The C2 this year, yet again, is cooking in my estimation. I think this is the best thing that AEW always do. They have been doing right the last 3 years at the end of the year. The Continental Classic, so far so good. I thought the match between Okada and Pac was a banger. A lot to be left desired towards the end there, how Okada beat Pac, but hey, that's more for the storytelling elements of the tournament and things of that nature. Because we're starting to see the cracks, the chinks in the armor for certain members in the Death Riders outside of John Moxley as well. So that's a particular story being told here in the Continental Classic. How Kazuchika Okada is going to be made, how he is going to fare throughout the length of the tournament is another story here going in the Continental Classic. So keep an eye on all the members of the Death Riders that are in the Continental Classic, and also all the members that are in the Don Callis family via the Continental Classic. Kyle Fletcher versus Kevin Knight. Man, that was that in the main event were the matches of the night. Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight are going to be main eventers into the future for AEW, and nobody is going to be able to convince me of anything differently and otherwise. Fantastic match between Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight. Kyle Fletcher winning that out as he leads the Gold League. The AEW World Tag Team, the Holiday Death Match between the Timeless Love Bombs and the Mega Problems. It was cool. Wasn't anything fantastic or great. Marina still showing how tough she is and things of that nature. Her and Megan Bayne actually are I'd like to say are a pretty strong tag team, even though they were thrown together last minute. So I want to give them props there. Mina and Tony are just very entertaining together as a group. They also have great chemistry together. They've taken the time to put some tag team maneuvers together as well, so they look good in the ring as a tag team. And the outcome of the match was something that I was not expecting. I actually thought that the Mega Problems were going to win this match, as they're the heel tag team here, especially with the Babes of Wrath, that being Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, winning their semifinal match. So I thought that the Mega Problems would go into that finals match, but having the Timeless Love Bombs here win the match was a little bit surprising for me. So there's that of it. I'll talk about the promo that they cut last night on Collision for the finals of the women's tag team tournament, and I'll give you my wrap on that. The Ops versus the Dark Order. It was a light spot for me on the card, because it was cool to see the Dark Order back on AEW TV, specifically Dynamite. It had been more than 2 years that the Dark Order had been on AEW Dynamite. I had a big affinity for the Dark Order on Dynamite, with Brody Lee, without Brody Lee. I thought that the Dark Order as a unit was always misunderstood and within their presentation. And you know, a lot of the stuff that was done after Brody Lee's passing was more comedic. I thought that they should have taken stronger lines to make them a little bit more serious, but hey, it is what it is. But I admire the fact that Tony TK, that is, put the Dark Order back on Dynamite to face up against the Ops, but you did know that they were losing because the Ops are on a roll right now, specifically with Samoa Joe, the head of the Ops, and the Ops Dojo being the AEW champion. And just to mention the main event, we had in the Continental Classic Blue League match, Claudio Castagnoli versus Jon Moxley was a knockdown, drag out battle. These two didn't give each other an inch. That finish was very telling as to what might be happening into the future of the Death Riders as a unit. But man, those two gave us one of the, I think, my opinion, one of the better matches in 2025's Continental Classic so far. Jon Moxley is, and for all the hate that the Death Riders get online and things of that nature, I gotta say this: Jon Moxley is truly the ace of AEW. That dude does not take a day off. That dude does not take a match off. What he's been doing in I think the 4 matches that he's had so far in the Continental Classic have been, man, they first of all shows his willingness to give, shows his willingness to put others over, and at the same time he's still getting his stuff in, and he's still showing how tough he is, and his willingness to just fight through the tournament and things of that nature. But this match versus Claudio was great. And just to mention as well, for those who are fans of AEW or have been fans of AEW for a long period of time, during the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament Holiday Death Match, we saw the return of Luther during the match there. He came down to help and aid Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa, dressed up as Santa Claus at one point on during that match, and I thought it was a funny bit because we hadn't seen Luther on TV in quite some time. But very very good episode of Dynamite I thought this week, and AEW's on is on a good course as it usually is, especially coming to the time of the year where they produce the C2.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go. Well, Jane is gonna go to the back with me, and we're gonna go over to the next thing, and that's Ring of Honor ROH. They also had a pay per view last week.
No, Friday.
Yep.
Hmm?
This is Commander. We had ROH for 144 on the 4th on ROHWrestling.com or the app. We had Commander defeating the Beast Mortos by DQ. We had the premier athletes, Ari Daivari and Denali and Tony Nese defeating Mariano and Philly Collins along with Zoe Lynn. Listen, they need to start with all these fancy names. Hakeem defeated Rosario Grillo. We had Dalton Castle and Outrunners defeating Ashton Adonis, Jake Omen, and Josh Crane. We had the Death Riders of Daniel Garcia and Willa Yuta defeated Damian Real and Damson Real. We had Damian, listen, tongue tied today. We had ROH Women's Pure Title Tournament semifinal match where Deanna Perrazzo defeated Queen Amanana by forfeit. Oops, sorry. Just go on over there, sis. Just go on over there. We had a non-title match where Mercedes Moné defeated Lovely Miss Larka. And we had for the ROH Women's Pure Title Tournament semifinal match, Billy Starks defeated Yuka Sakazaki. Jay News, did you see any of this, or what do you think?
Minor points. Always a good time to see Commander on TV. Commander was part of the ROH Final Battle main event. In that, I forget what they Strong Survivor, I believe is what they called it. The six-way match that they were having as the main event for the ROH championship. So it was just a one-on-one match between him and Mortos, and that ended via DQ. Members of LFI, if I'm not mistaken, and Hechicero came out to help in this instance. Hechicero being a member of the DCF, so I'm not too sure if LFI and DCF are in cahoots. So we'll see as to what happens in further episodes of ROH. Like I said previously, the last time I was on the show, I think ROH has been getting stronger, especially with the storytelling elements and with their presentation on TV. And the matches have been produced in a more tight fashion. The matches have been more efficient. I feel like they still have a lot of work to do with the premier athletes. Story Denali, Arya Daivari, and Tony Nese have been around for a long period of time, so I'm sure they're taking lead and heed as to training Story Denali and things of that nature. So there's still work to do there on that. Great to see Sidney Akeem back on ROH TV. Rosario Grillo seems to be the mainstay enhancement talent on ROH right now, so he's the one taking all the pins. Dalton Castle and the Outrunners, another mainstay team and or faction, if you want to call them, on ROH TV. They got another win on ROH TV here. The Death Riders of Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia, they've been teaming a lot, or offshoots, right? It's either Danny and Wheeler or Wheeler and Marina who have been on ROH TV as of late. So we saw that also on ROH TV as well. We have seen Jon Moxley on commentary lately. When it comes to Death Rider matches and other matches as well, it seems like Jon Moxley's been doing some scouting as of late on ROH TV. Death Rider's getting their win there. Deanna Perrazzo, Deanna Perrazzo fortunately went on to the finals at the ROH Pure Title the women's Pure Title match. Queen Amanada has yet to be cleared for in-ring competition by AEW Medical, so she had to forfeit her match. Mercedes had an enhancement match on ROH TV before her title match her title rematch against Red Velvet on at Final Battle. and then Billy Starks beat Yuka Sakazaki in order to get her bid into the finals of the Pure Tournament. So that was the breakdown of all the story beats and booking for Honor Club stuff this week.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we got two slides for the next show, which was ROH Final Battle. We're going to start out with the first slide. We had 0 Hour. We had a tag team match with the Outrunners defeated the Premier Athletes. We had Leela Gray defeating Zeta Steel. We had Ace Austin defeat Lee Johnson, and for the Death Riders, Daniel Garcia and Willie Uter defeated the Grizzly Young Veterans of James Drake and Zach Gibson. We had the ROH Final Battle 2025, which was on again ROH.com or the app. ROH Women's Pure Title Match, final match. Deanna Perrazzo defeated Billy Starks. We had a non-title 30-minute Iron Man match where Lee Moriarty defeated Nigel McGuinness 5-4. So as you see, this is how it went. And then on the next slide, we had for the ROH Women's title match, Red Velvet defeated Mercedes Moné in a title change. We had ROH World Tag Team title match. La Facción Ingranable, which is Sammy Guevara and Beast Mortos, defeated Adam Priest and Tommy Billington in a title change. We had Eddie Kingston defeat Josh Woods. For the ROH six-man tag team title match, Shane Taylor Productions, Charlie Bravo, Shane Taylor, and Sean Dean uh, defeated Skyflight, which is Darius and Dante Martin, along with Scorpio Sky. We have AEW National Title match. Ricochet defeated Dalton Castle. For the ROH World Title Survival of the Fittest six-way elimination match, Bandito. I'm thinking about Brodito, the tag team, not Bandito. Bandito defeated Blake Christian, Hechicero, Commander, and Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortos. We have ROH Women's World Title match. Athena defeated Persephone. Jay News, did you see any of this, and what did you think?
Yeah, just to touch on the overall sense of the show, folks, it seems like the pay-per-view went well. It was very well received by current ROH fans and things of that nature. Just from everything that I saw, I thought that the show went well. Not that it was the greatest show of all time and things of that nature, but for the pay-per-views that ROH continues to put on and continue to put together, I feel like this was another strong show for the ROH side of the roster. To go through the matches real quick, the things that stood out to me the most, Layla Gray had a match against Zeta Steel. There was an earlier episode of ROH TV this week that went on for free on YouTube. For those of us who watch wrestling highlights and clips on YouTube, there was an ROH episode on YouTube this week as well, outside of the episode that was on ROH.com and Honor Club. Layla Gray had a match there against Trish Dora of STP. And I feel like they've been spotlighting Layla Gray a lot, at least in those two matches. Not a lot. Let me rephrase. They've been spotlighting Layla Gray this week, specifically in these two matches. I think that her match against Trish Dora was very strong, and it put Layla Gray and Trish Dora in a very good light going forward in the ROH Women's Division. So that was a good win for her earlier in the week. And then this match here against Zeta Steel, not to say that it was bad, but some of the timing was a bit off. And I don't want to blame the girls at all for that. They are relatively new to each other. This was Zeta Steel's first in-ring appearance for ROH. She seems to be somebody that Tony Khan, as the owner of AEW/ROH, is interested in. He said so as much during his pre-Final Battle media call and the Final Battle media scrum as well. So it seems that we'll be seeing more of Zeta Steel on ROH TV. But it was a match that lasted about 9 minutes and 45 seconds between Layla Gray and Zeta Steel. Zeta Steel got some good stuff in after she got her footing in there with Layla Gray. Layla Gray looked okay in this match, but I feel like she looked better in her match against Trish Adora earlier in the week. Ace Austin versus Lee Johnson was a banger. The Death Riders versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. Yo, I'm gonna scream for GYV until my voice gets hoarse. GYV should not be on ROH. They should be on AEW TV, both on Dynamite and Collision. They're one of the better tag teams in all of professional wrestling. For them to be on ROH to me is a freaking crime. But I understand why the boys are there. I understand that it has a lot more to do with their schedule and how they work around their schedule for training up and coming wrestlers and and other things that they're doing business wise and all that stuff. But I would love to see more of GYV on AEW TV because they're a tremendous tag team and I feel like they should be more involved. But it was a tremendous match between them and the Death Riders. So the women's pure title match went the way that I thought that it was going to go. I thought Deonna Purrazzo and Billy Starks had a real good match there, but Deonna Purrazzo obviously had to win here. She is the better, more established name at this point in time, even though Billy Starks is a young star in the making. The Lee Moriarty versus Nigel McGuinness match, honestly, going into the match, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just another one of those matches that was supposed to profile Nigel and his ability to still go at a certain level. But this match between him and Lee Moriarty really did a lot more for me in the sense of Nigel still has a lot left in the tank. And their ability to tell the story that they told in this match with a sudden death round included was something to be admired about this match. This 30-minute Iron Man match with their pure rules involved and Nigel McGuinness coming down with his original version of the ROH Pure Rules Championship, and obviously Lee Moriarty being the current Pure Rules champion in ROH and things of that nature. And after Lee Moriarty ended up beating Nigel McGuinness after the sudden death round, Nigel McGuinness awarding or gifting the original ROH Pure Championship to Lee Moriarty, basically letting the kid know, hey man, you got this from here. But tremendous match, tremendous storytelling between all the pinfalls and submissions within this 30-minute Iron Man match. Great to see Nigel McGuinness in this light here in Final Battle. Red Velvet versus Mercedes Moné. To me, if we're going to pick a match of the night, the ladies killed it on this card. So I just want to say that Red Velvet and Mercedes Moné put on a banger of a match. If anybody wants to go back and see this, the rematch is much better than the match that they had when Mercedes originally won the belt on, I believe it was Dynamite or Collision. I forget which one. But Red Velvet definitely showed out, man. She's out here stirring the pot. The kitchen is open again, folks. And Mercedes' downfall is beginning to unravel, which is going to be interesting to see for the rest of the year going into 2026 on AEW TV. Didn't really have an interest in the ROH Tag Team title match. I knew that La Faction was going to win. Unfortunately, Rush has a knee injury. He had to have knee surgery. So that's the reason as to why Sammy Guevara and Beast Mortos are now the tag team champions. So for folks wondering as to what happened to Rush is injured. He's now recovering from knee surgery. I would say it was a decent showing for Adam Priest and Tommy Billington. Hopefully there's more for them to do and more to come for Adam Priest and Tommy Billington. Eddie Kingston and Josh Woods was a bit much more sloppier than what I thought it was going to be. Eddie's still knocking off that ring rust in there. Josh Woods, it's been a while since I've seen Josh Woods on ROH and in a ring. You saw the flashes of what Josh Woods was back in 2017. He was that top prospect on ROH and things of that nature. We saw some good things here and there with Eddie Kingston, but I thought that the match was a bit more sloppy than what I wanted it to do. But Eddie Kingston was bound to win because Eddie Kingston is going on to Winter is Coming this week as he faces off against Samoa Joe for the AEW Championship. So obviously, Eddie's got to go in there with some momentum. The 6-man tag team title match was another banger. STP going in there with the boys from Skyflight. Man, pairing Christopher Daniels and Scorpio Sky with Darius and Dante Martin has been a good thing for the boys, the Martin brothers, should I say. and Shane Taylor Promotion still continues to be the top team, the top faction in ROH TV. Ricochet and Dalton Castle had a very entertaining match, to say the least. Ricochet retains his national championship there, and Bandito had another knockout match here for this survival of the fittest 6-way elimination match. What Bandito was able to do in this match with Commander, with Hechicero, Blake Christian stood out like I knew he would. Vanilla Baby, making sure that he keeps his name in the front of people's minds as well. And the Beast, man, the Beast Mortos, that dude. Props to that dude, man. Props to everybody in this match. One hell of a match for the ROH World Title as Bandito retained. And then the ladies, man, they killed it, man. I've been watching Persephone for the last 2 years on CMLL. I've liked every one of her showings that she's had on AEW/ROH TV, and this was another banger between her and Athena. And Athena can do no wrong, man. She's been the forever ROH Women's Champion for a reason, and what she's been able to do with female talent that is just coming into ROH for a spell, and for the talent that's just that's there for the long haul. I think Athena's really done a hell of a job, not only just elevating the ROH Women's World Title, but also helping to elevate the ROH Women's division. So great match between Athena and Persephone. Hopefully we see more Persephone on ROH/AEW TV going forward. But one hell of a match between Athena and Persephone, man. They killed it. So I think it was a really, really good show in all, or overall, should I say, for Final Battle. And that's my take on it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jay News is going to go to back with me, and we're going to go over to Collision. Collision was on another number describer. On the 6th, which was yesterday, we had the Continental Classic Blue League match. Orange Cassidy defeated Roderick Strong. We had the Blue League match, Mascara Dorada defeating Claudio Castagnoli. We had the AEW TBS title match where Mercedes Moné defeated Leela Gray. We had the AEW national title match where Ricochet defeated Ace Austin. And we had for the Blast Blue League match, Konosuke Takeshita defeating Jon Moxley.
So to speak on this actually happened yesterday, which was December 6th. This wasn't the Thanksgiving episode. So I wanted to say a very strong, quick, but efficient paced episode of Collision. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday while I was watching Collision and things of that nature. I thought the episode went by in a very snappy fashion. I thought that what was happening in ring and out of the ring in the backstage segments, everything beat, everything hit, and everything went in accordance. One of the stronger episodes of Collision I've seen in quite some time, and it flew by. Just to say about the matches, Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong was a ultra physical match between the two of these guys, and I wouldn't have expected anything less out of these two, especially with how coming out of Roderick Strong's last promo from his first match in the Continental Classic. Even though Roddy didn't pick up the win here, Roddy's looked very, very strong in the Continental Classic. Hopefully he picks up a couple of wins so he doesn't end up with 0 points in this tournament, and Orange Cassidy picking up the win here after a very hard-fought battle. Mascara Dorada versus Claudio Castagnoli was one hell of a battle. Lucha Styles versus the finesse and high-impact style of Claudio Castagnoli. They played off each other perfectly. I thought it was a tremendous match versus Mascara Dorada, and I was also surprised that Mascara Dorada won this match against Claudio Castagnoli. Great showing for both men, but even better for Mascara Dorada here in the win. Mercedes Moné here getting the win over Leila Gray. Leila Gray actually challenged Mercedes Moné to a match for the TBS Championship. After ROH's final battle, there was a post-match backstage segment where Leila Gray went over to try and console Mercedes Moné after her loss to Red Velvet, but Mercedes Moné was having none of it. And Leila Gray said, "Hey, what you doing tomorrow? Seems like we could have this match for the TBS Championship. That's how the title match was formed for Collision. Mercedes Moné went into her bag of heel tactics as she did some very underhanded things to get the win over Layla Gray. She even hit a low blow on Christopher Daniels post match, as well as we continue to see the spiral of disillusion continue with Mercedes Moné after losing two championships within the last 2 weeks. So we'll continue to see as to how that storyline continues. Ricochet versus Ace Austin was a terrific match between two guys who are very similar in style in the ring, but it worked very specifically because of Ricochet's heel antics and the character that he likes to play up and whatnot. But he did need some help from his boys from the Demand in order to defeat Ace Austin. They try to put the beat down on Ace Austin, but Ace Austin's homies from the Gun Club, or the Gun Club, the Bang Bang Gang, came out for the save. Before or earlier on in the show, should I say, I think it was after the Orange Cassidy and Roger Strong match, the Bang Bang Gang had a promo confrontation against FTR. We'll be going into, I believe it's a Winter is Coming at Cardiff match between the Bang Bang Gang and FTR. They had a face-off promo in the ring earlier on in the show. I thought that their face-off promo in the ring was better the week prior and not this week, but it still did what it was supposed to do, in my estimation, from a promo standpoint. I mentioned that to say that we saw the Bang Bang Gang yet again come out for the save here after Ricochet and the Demand try to put the beats on Ace Austin post-match. And then the match of the night was Konosuke Takeshita versus Jon Moxley, even though the other Continental Classic matches on this card were very strong to great. I don't think Konosuke Takeshita knows how to have a bad match. And Jon Moxley, like I said, continues to be the ace of AEW. And the match that they were able to put together, the story that they were able to tell, especially with the selling of the injured ankles and feet and things of that nature, both on Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita's part, was very well done during the match. And then there was a sick ass stomp spot that Jon Moxley put on Takeshita on the ring apron there that folks have to go back and watch. Man, that was gnarly, but great match between Takeshita and Jon Moxley. The Alpha continues to have the upper hand in his block in the Continental Classic, and Jon Moxley continues to prove that he's the ace, even though he's now gotten 2 losses in the Continental Classic, and he's not looking very good. So we'll continue to see as to how that devolves for Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. There was a backstage segment, I believe, with the ladies from the Triangle of Madness, where they just basically beat up women in the women's locker room, women of local talent, not any of the women that we know to be on AEW TV on a regular basis. But they did specifically, towards the tail end of that particular beat up Hyann and Maya World. So we might be seeing a match between the Sisters of Sin and Hyann and Maya World come sometime soon on Collision or Dynamite. So we might see that coming soon. But they had their little beatdown of the women's locker room there to prove how tough they are going into their Winter is Coming match versus Stat Daddy and Jamie Hayter, which will be happening on Dynamite, I believe. So there was that backstage part of it as well. So yeah, that's that from what I can remember from last night. Yet again, pretty strong episode of Collision.
Yes, you already know JP is coming to the back because we're gonna go over to TNA. TNA had 2 shows this week. TNA Impact. We're gonna start off with 115 on the 4th on Access TV as of now. But we know they're going to AMC in the future. So I don't know how that impacts AEW when their contract is up, because it's AMC, HBO, HBO Max, all of those people are included into the AMC with AMC. They're all under one umbrella.
No, they're not.
Because the email came from Netflix.
AMC is different. You're talking about TMC, or TCM, should I say? TCM belongs to Turner, and things of that nature. AMC is its own thing. They're not under that umbrella.
Because I was thinking about, because somebody pointed to me that I get an email, and I said, email about what? And they were like, about the thing, and I was like, well, what does that got to do with me? And they were like, oh, it's wrestling, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I checked my email, and they list HBO and HBO Max under it.
Right, right,
So
right.
I
Yeah,
was,
yeah. The
so
acquisition of
that's what
Netflix
I was
and
wondering about, now that
whatever.
they including TNA. How would that go with the upcoming deal? Because it seems like WWE was very influential in helping them kind of get the deal that they got.
Yeah, the WWE, from what I understood, was very influential in helping TNA get their TV deal with AMC. But AMC is not under the Warner Brothers umbrella or the Netflix umbrella. AMC is their own thing, so you don't have to worry about that. But AEW, being that Warner Brothers TNT TBS is their partner from a television standpoint, um, I don't feel as of right now we
Oh no,
don't
that's
know.
what it is. That's what the email was. That
Mhm.
Netflix will acquire Warner
Yeah,
Brothers,
exactly.
HBO Max, and HBO
Mhm.
coming forward. That's what I'm saying. Well, how would that affect that? Now they have WWE product and they plan on bringing some more on there. How would it affect when
I
the
don't know.
contract is up? AEW. Where did they go? Because it seems like, when somebody mentioned a month ago that WWE is strategically putting shows on different
Right.
platforms
Mhm.
to kind of monopolize
Right.
in the end. So where does AEW go? Because TNA was, that was access TV, and now
Right.
that they're coming a little bit up into the mainstream, where do you go now? Where do you do? You just
They
kind of,
they only have they as an AEW only has a couple of options in that particular sense, but we don't necessarily know. This acquisition, this merger, whatever you want to call it, it's an acquisition. It's not a merger. This acquisition, it's going to take a little bit over a year to complete. So we don't
yeah.
necessarily know as to where certain pieces are going to fall.
Yeah, because is
But yeah,
it like, is it 2028 the AEW's contract is due, or is it
is right.
2027? Yeah.
Yeah,
So their
2028.
contract is due around the time the merger should be ended and everything should be transitioning at that point. So hopefully, I don't know. Maybe they, because Tony is a very techie nerdy person, it might be an online thing eventually where he's in control of everything. But I don't want AEW to go away.
No,
Like, it's
no.
the access is easier than sometimes WWE at this point. For those who don't know, let me bring myself back up over here with y'all. At this point, I pay $30 a month to watch WWE pay-per-views. Next month, towards the middle of the year, because I got 12 months, maybe 3 months into the new year, I start paying almost $35, $40 for it. That's because I have the Hulu package that has everything with it. Now, if I was paying individually, I would have to pay just almost that for ESPN Unlimited. So that's a little bit, only because I'm a wrestling fan and only because I love you all. Do I pay that much? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to have that type of problem accessing AEW, because I enjoy that I can watch them on my cable television. They are very good about putting clips out. Sometimes if things messes up, they'll put it on their YouTube channel. I like that about them as of now, and they have good wrestling. So I think the fear of a lot of wrestling fans, including myself, is like, don't make it where you, not that you're never, I don't think they're ever gonna price us out, but make it where you have to get 2 or 3 things to watch these shows. That's a lot. Because you think about WWE, somebody chopped it up. You have to have cable, you have to have Peacock, and you have to have ESPN Unlimited and Netflix. That's 5 things you have to do to watch a complete week of shows for WWE. Whereas right now, all I need is the cable. I can watch as much as, if I choose to pay for the pay-per-view, that's how it is. But I wanted to stay that way. And I hate that it feels like they're closing in on them to kind of push them out. That's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, no. Look, Dolores. I feel like your point is valid. Your point is important to put out there. A lot of people are, a lot of wrestling fans, especially fans of AEW, like myself. There's some concern, but at the same time, there's the other side of the coin with it. Um, this isn't for all the people who want to make Tony Khan out to be some money mark. He really does love professional wrestling. At the end of the day, he's not going to let AEW die, regardless of TV deal or no TV deal. He's going to find a way for AEW to be accessible to as many people out there as possible. Um, we can bet on the fact that we're going to continue to get AEW on TNT and TBS at least for the next 2 years, because that's how long the contract is deemed for. He mentioned during his ROH media call that he's working on a $500 million TV rights deal for AEW. I don't know with whom necessarily, but that's what he's working on. So we'll see as to how that materializes over time and things of that nature. The only other TV network that I can think that AEW can land on right now that hasn't been touched by WWE or isn't currently in contract with WWE is Fox. Outside of that, I don't necessarily know where AEW can go from a network standpoint, but they can, I'm sure Tony Khan, for all of those who don't know or are unaware, the dude's very well versed in all this media rights stuff. He does more than his fair share of homework. I feel like some of the concern and or doom and gloom being put out there about AEW and their TV is a little bit unwarranted. I feel like we're going to have access to AEW for years, if not decades to come, for as long as Tony Khan wants it to be out there. So it might not be on TNT and TBS after 2028, but it'll be somewhere that a good portion of people are going to be able to have access to it.
Yeah, I know his father owns the football team, but
The Jaguars, yeah.
Yeah, but being that his father is a part of his business, can he go with Fox? Because I know Fox has the NFL, and they
Yeah.
used to have a thing where they couldn't mix NFL partnerships with Fox stuff.
No, because AEW doesn't have anything to do with the Jaguars. It's not under the same umbrella. It's its own company. At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
I know it's on his own company, but I'm saying that his father's involved in the company. Could he, or would he just be the only person involved in it?
He would be the only person involved. Because at this
Oh.
point, I think folks aren't aware of this, but it's a matter of public record at this point. Shad Khan's initial investment in AEW has been paid back and then some. So
yeah, I know he paid it back, and it was around the time he showed up during that little. His son was getting beat up, that type of thing. But it still seemed like he had some type of not ownership. He's not an owner, but kind of like, you know, I can contribute into the company.
he
And
can,
so,
but he's not currently. So I don't feel that would be something that would take away from
and plus Tony has had a little bit of. I know that Tony. I agree with a lot of Tony's political views. He kind of has made it clear he's not like a Fox News, Fox type of person. Now,
I
will he
mean,
put his pride to the side? I think he probably will now. Now, back in the day, I would have said he gonna say bump you. I'm not doing it. But now I think he's got a little bit more business acumen. His interview, I think, were you here when I talked about his interview with Ariel Harani? I really loved
I
because
like
that was
that.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's the first time I've seen you be a businessman and not just like snap and lose your mind. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was
And
a very
it's a running joke on Workhouse Wrestling Network that he doesn't blink, and he finally blinked, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
it was a very forward thinking, very transparent interview from Tony Khan. It was Tony Khan, um, putting out the olive branch as well to Ariel Helwani, because
Yeah.
Ariel's been in a very iffy spot lately with the things that he speaks on, specifically having to do with UFC. His thoughts on what's been going on with the UFC, their television stuff, their pay per view stuff, and whatnot. Um, his not like big time dislike, but his criticism of the WWE product in current times as well, has taken a forefront on Ariel's show and whatnot. And it was cool to see two men come together, take accountability for what happened with their initial meeting and interaction with one another, and start to build for the sake of the betterment of whatever, just the industry as a whole, and for AEW to be able to have another platform to send their talents to, even though Ariel still interviews AEW talent, but it can be it can be used even more so going into the future. So I really like that interview. So I back you
Yeah, because
there.
I appreciate Ariel. He has not stopped his criticisms. Even recently, when he interviewed Cody and them, he has not just been like, "I'm a shield," because that's initially what they marked him as when he did the introduction for the Canada show, the Toronto Money in the Bank or whatever. They called him a mark because he had been back and forth with Tony, and then all of a sudden he shows up. He's like, "But I've done other things with them. It's never been a problem until I be with Tony, and now I'm a shield for WWE." But he's shown that like no matter the connection, he still has something to say. He's very vocal. Even I hate to say it because sometimes Pat McAfee has been like he has spoken out on some things that I thought, oh, they're not gonna let him come back, but they do. And so I think this is a new WWE where they're like, okay, good, bad, or ugly, we getting our name out there. So let's just go ahead. We're not gonna block anybody from saying or doing anything. Let them do whatever they want to do. But some of you all, we have to talk about it. Some of you all do the most. And recently, with some of these airport videos and stuff, to the point where people don't even want to have interactions. So I totally agree. And also, I forgot to say, R.I.P. to Larry. Larry was my man. Dog had missing TV. He's still making it happen. Listen, and he was a big storyline in the fight. So we got to get Larry, R.I.P. Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to TNA 115 on the 4th. We had Brooks Jensen defeating the hometown man. We had TNA Knockouts World Title #1 contendership match. Zaya Brookside defeating Danny Luna. We had Mike Santana, which I I hated that it took him 36 seconds to beat Robert Stone, which shouldn't have never happened. The match shouldn't have never. What are y'all doing to Mike Santana at this point? Tell me, because I feel like stop watching. Mustafa Ali defeated Trey Miguel. Channing Lorenzo, Lexis King, and the High Rise, which is Tyreek Igwe and Tyson DuPont, defeated Cedric Alexander, Steve Macklin, and the Hardys, Jeff and Matt Hardy. J News, I know you might not have seen any of this, so what do you think?
Nah, I didn't see any of it. Only thing TNA related I saw this week was the return of the Treehouse and the Boys from the Rascals. Outside of that,
Yeah.
wasn't anything else.
Listen, I'm so mad at how they doing Mike Santana. Mike, go to another. Just go to either WWE or AEW. But no, you can't go back to AEW because you snapped on them. Go to WWE. Okay, go to GCW in this one. Go anywhere because I don't know what they're doing to you. But the fact that you had to face Robert Stone and not even have a full complete match, 36 seconds, tells me that, and they stripped you of the title so quickly. It was oh God. Every time I think about it, makes me want to cut somebody out. Jesus Christ. Let me go on back because we're gonna go on to Final Resolution. Final Resolution was on Friday the 5th. We had Cedric Alexander defeating Eric Young. We had a 6-man tag match where the System, the Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Moose defeated Bear Bronson and the Andersons, Brock and C.W. Anderson. On to the main part of the pay per view, which was on TNA Plus. We had Mike Santana defeating Charlie Dempsey. TNA's Knockout World Tag Team titles, the inspiration of Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay, defeated TB. As you all know, I won't say that lady name. And just like TB, she makes me sick. And Victoria Crawford. We had Street Fight. Matt Cardona defeated Mance Warner. We had a title change for the TNA International title. Channing Lorenzo defeated Steve Macklin. For the TNA Knockouts World title match, Lee Ying Lee defeated Zaya Brookside. We had for the Rascals, Desmond Xavier, Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz defeat the Order of Four, Jason Hosh, John Schuyler, Mustafa Ali, Special Agent Zero. We had TNA World Tag Team title match, the Hardys, Jeff and Matt Hardy defeating the High Rise of Tariq Igwe and Tyson DuPont. We had TNA X Division title match where Leon Slater defeated AJ Francis. Let me say it again for you all and the people in the back of the row. Leon Slater did the Lord's work. He defeated AJ Francis. For the TNA World Heavyweight title match, Frankie Kazarian defeated JDC. I did enjoy this. A little, some of it, not all of it, but some of it. Where normally times I would left out of this pay-per-view and said, what the are we doing? J News, what did you feel about the pay-per-view?
I didn't watch it.
Listen, I just want to say some of it was good. Some of it was good. Some of it I could have done totally without. I don't know. I can't tell you why in the holy hell does TNA give Channing Lorenzo the title over Steve Macklin. I can't. I sometimes I want to rip my hair out my head because I think my nephew, who is 8 years old, can book some matches better than they can.
I will like to say that there was the TNA World Tag Team title match where Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys, defeated the High Rise. After the match was over, post-match, we saw the arrival of former AEW / ROH talents in Vic and his tag team partner. Man, why am I forgetting the freaking name of these dudes, man? They were just on the tip of my tongue. The Righteous. There you go. The Brothers of the Righteous.
Yeah.
They debuted on TNA. There had been rumors for months that the Righteous had signed with the WWE to be on NXT, but nothing had ever come of it necessarily. But we finally have a sighting of the Righteous on another televised wrestling show.
Well, technically, aren't they still with NXT and they wrestling with TNA? And TNA is all on NXT. So
no, look, I'm talking about from an official capacity. I don't necessarily know if they ever signed with the WWE or NXT.
No, I'm saying like even if they didn't sign it at this point, they pretty much with NXT because
I guess
they're gonna end up on the show anyway.
Yeah, if you want to put it that way, yeah, then that's the adjacency of it. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, the Righteous appeared on TNA. That was a big moment that I saw online. I'll give the TNA fans shit for chanting "Who are they? Who are they?" For supposed professional wrestling fans who like to tout that they know more than others, they don't know shit because the Righteous have been on televised wrestling shows before. Not to say that they will remain act, but at the end of the day, the Righteous were a popular act around the indies and on televised pro wrestling shows before. So I like to give a thumbs down to the TNA faithful there for that. But it'll be interesting to see as to what the Righteous does on TNA and how they fit into the tag team title picture there, and if they'll have any sort of interactions with the like of those roster members over on NXT or WWE and things of that nature. But that's the only thing that I really saw out of what happened with the shows, with this show. on Friday.
Yeah, I admit this show was pretty much okay. It was serviceable. I could deal with it. It went like too many matches where I was like, oh my god, why are we doing this? Listen, what's the dude with the bolts in the neck? I try to PCO. I try to anything with PCO on it. I know it's gonna be a horrible pay per view because we don't went immediately to a place that I don't want to go. Okay, I like funny wrestling. I like this, but when I see him, it's always like I watch the match and I wonder, sir, why you keep doing this? Okay, but it's like watching Ric Flair on his last match. That's every time PCO comes on my screen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go to the back. And it's time for my favorite time. It's Progress Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. And we had the Vendetta 3. Progress chapter 187 on the 30th. We had a pre-show match where Jay defeated Matthew Bullet Smith. Matthew, you just need two names, not three. Cara Noir defeated Jay Joshua. Leo Rush defeated Scott Oberman and Tommy Tanner, sorry, excuse me. Gene Mooney and Kuga, probably I said that wrong. Defeated Lycos Jim, which is Kid Lycos and Kid Lycos II. We had Charlie Sterling defeating Simon Miller. Alexis Falcon defeating Mayu Yamashita. Progress Tag Team title match. Diamond Eyes, Connor Miller and Nico Angelo defeated Sunshine Machine of Chuck Bombo and TK Cooper. We had the Progress Women title match. I'm gonna say this right because J News is drilled it in my head. Rain Leverkusen. See, look, I learned something new. I defeated Emerson Jane. We had Progress World title match where Man Like Doris defeated Tay May Fears. Would show y'all that would have made more sense, but there you go. Okay, so I would say this was a good show. Progress puts on pretty good shows. It's not like some shows are like, oh my god, y'all gotta go back. It's but some shows are like, okay, this is good. This is a good show. This was a good show for me. Now we're on to my favorite company, GCW. Yes, that's Game Changer Wrestling. And the first show you're gonna see is Say You Will. Okay, it's almost like you telling somebody, say you will. Come on, jump if you feel a little froggy. Say You Will took place on the 5th, which was Friday. I told you Friday was a busy day for me. On Triller TV, we had Priscilla Kelly defeating Effie, Jack Evans defeating Jack Cartwheel, Drew Parker defeating Vipers, Marcus Mathers defeating Evan Rivers, Sue Young defeating Rob Shit, and for GCW Tag Team Title Three-Way match, Buster and the Brain, which is Alex Price and Jordan Oliver, defeated C4, Cody Chung, and Guillermo Rosas, and the Bollywood Boys of Gerb and Harv Shearer. We had Joey Janela defeating Shotzi Blackheart. And for the GCW World Title match, Atticus Cougar defeated Matt Tremont. Overall, good shows. They put two good shows on, this weekend. Highest in the room. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, wish I was highest in the room because there was some people out there that was a little bit dark. Okay. It was on yesterday on Triller TV for the GCW Tag Team Championship. Buster and the Brain retained by defeating the Krusty Crew of Dom Kubrick and Lucas Riley. We had Joey Janela defeat Jack Evans. We had the Brothers of Construction, which is Diablo the Clown and Ruffo the Clown, defeat the epic shit. Sorry. The epic Doug Matafido. Listen, I'm not even gonna go there. And Rob shit. Every time I say that man name, I can't get a little bit of chuckle out of it. GCW Ultraviolet title match. Matt Tremont defeated Damien 666 with that's a J News word. Vengado.
Vengador.
Vengador. See, listen, I gave you the English version. Vengador and Los Desperados, which is Gringo Loco and Jack Cartwheel, defeated Ray Ares, J News word.
Brillante Jr.
Brillante Jr. and Spiderfly. Priscilla Kelly defeated Viperess. We had Starboy Charlie defeating
Is it I
Cobra,
don't I've never seen this name before, but I'll say it
Cobra
the way,
Mora.
no, I'm sorry. I'll say it the way I see it as Cabre Mora.
Cobra Mora. That's
Mhm.
the general. And Bobby Flacco. We had Drew Parker defeated Sicko Pay. And for the GCW World title match, Atticus Cougar retained by beating my boy Effie. No. But ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in like 2 weeks, y'all ain't gotta hear me shake and stutter over these words because you got what? You got J News in the building for World Tag League 2025.
Oh man, Tag League has been going on, and it's been going on without me because I'll be honest with y'all, I'm always straight with y'all. I have not been watching. So for those of y'all who watch me on True Heel Heat, go over New Japan shows and things of that nature. Y'all know I've been watching New Japan since I was a kid. But the last two tours, be it Super Junior Tag League and now World Tag League, I haven't had a vested interest in watching, and I haven't been watching. So if anything, if y'all don't see me on the reviews of the tournament and things of that nature, y'all know why. It's because I haven't been watching. But I'll break down the results here for you, as it is my pleasure to always do so. So on the 30th of November, we had the prelim tag matches. House of Torture members Chase Owens, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi defeated Katsura Murashima, Oleg Bolton, and Toriano. House of Torture members Don Fale, Evil, and Show defeated Bishiman, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi, along with Tatsuya Matsumoto. Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Gato, along with Yoda Tsuji, defeated El Desperado, Shomo Kato, and Shuji Ishikawa. The War Dragons, Drilla Maloney and Shingo Takagi, along with Daiki Nagai, defeated Masatori Yasuda, Tai Chi, and Zane J. Sorry about that. Block B matches for World Tag League. We had Shota Umino and Yo Uemura defeat Monster Sauce of Alex Zane and Lance Archer. The Knockout Brothers, Oscar and Yuto Ice, defeated United Empires, Callum Newman and Great O'Khan. We then had House of Torches, Ren Narita and Sonata defeat David Finlay and Hiromu Takahashi. And El Phantasmo, along with Hiroshi Tanahashi, defeated TMDK members Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. On to the 2nd of December, which was this past Tuesday, El Phantasmo, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Katsura Murashima defeated Monster Sauce's Alex Zane and Lance Archer, along with Zane J. House of Tortures, Ren Narita, Sonata, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated United Empires, Callum Newman, Great O'Khan, and Jacob Boston Young. TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, and Ryohei Oiwa defeated Knockout Brothers Oscar and Yuto Ice, along with Daiki Nagai. Bullet Club War Dog members David Finlay and Gato, along with Hiromu Takahashi, defeated Shoma Kato, Shota Umino, and Yu Uemura. Block A action happened on the 2nd here, so it was Oleg Bolton and Toru Yano defeating House of Tortures, Chase Owens, and Yujiro Takahashi. Bishiman, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi defeated House of Torture members Don Fale and Evil. Gabe Kidd and Yoda Tsuji defeated El Desperado and Shuji Ishikawa. And then we had War Dragons of Drilla Maloney and Shingo Takagi defeat Team 100 of Satoshi Kojima and Tai Chi. On the 3rd, which was that Wednesday, House of Torture, Chase Owens, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi defeat Team 100 of Satoshi Kojima and Tai Chi, along with Masatori Yasuda. House of Torture members Dick Togo the second. Does that say? Don Fale and Evil defeat El Desperado, Shoma Kato, and Shuji Ishikawa. Katsura Murashima, Oleg Bolton, and Toru Yano defeat War Dragons of Drilla Maloney and Shingo Takagi, along with Daiki Nagai. Bullet Club War Dogs, Gabe Kidd and Gato, along with Yoda Tsuji, defeated Bishiman's Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Tatsuya Matsumoto. We then have Block B action. El Phantasmo and Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Monster Sauce's Alex Zane and Lance Archer. United Empires, Callum Newman and Great O'Khan defeating House of Torture members Ren Narita and Sonata. The Knockout Brothers, Yuto Ice and Oscar defeated TMDK's Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. And then we have Shota Umino and Yu Uemura in the main event versus David Finlay and Hiromu Takahashi, as Shota Umino and Yu Uemura get the win there in Block B action. On to the 5th, which was Friday, United Empires, Callum Newman, Great O'Khan, and Jacob Boston Young defeated El Phantasmo, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Katsura Murashima. Knockout Brothers Oscar and Yuto Ice, along with Daiki Nagai, defeated Monster Sauce's Alex Zane and Lance Archer, along with Zane J. Team DK's Harley Jackson, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Bullet Club War Dog members David Finlay and Gato, along with Hiromu Takahashi. House of Torture, Ren Narita, Sonata, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated Shoma Kato, Shota Umino, and Yu Uemura. On to Block A action. House of Torture members Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi defeated Team 100 of Satoshi Kojima and Tai Chi. House of Torture members Don Fale and Evil They defeated El Desperado and Shuji Ishikawa. War Dragons, Drilla Maloney and Shingo Takagi. They defeated Oleg Bolton and Toru Yano. Bishiman members, Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi defeated Gabe Kidd and Yota Tsuji. So it seems that we have 3 teams tied, or 4 teams tied at 8 currently in Tag League. Preview time, folks. Preview time. More New Japan coming at you. I think there was a New Japan show this morning. So we have Bishiman members, Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, along with Tatsuya Matsumoto, going up against War Dragons, Drilla Maloney and Shingo Takagi, along with Daiki Nagai. Matsuri Yasuda, Satoshi Kojima, and Tai Chi go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd, Gato, and Yota Tsuji. El Desperado, Shomakato, and Shuji Ishikawa. They'll go up against House of Torture members Chase Owens, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi. Katsuya Murashima, Oleg Bolton, Toru Yano, and Zane J will go up against House of Torture members Dick Togo, Don Fale, Evil, and Show. Block B action took place this morning. El Phantasmo, Hiroshi Tanahashi went up against United Empire's Callum Newman and Great Khan. Monster Sauce, Alex Zane and Lance Archer went up against the Knockout Brothers of Oscar and Yuto Ice. David Finley and Hiromu Takahashi, they went up against TMDK members Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. And the main event of Block B action this morning was Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura going up against House of Torture members Red Narita and Sonata. On to the 8th, which is tomorrow. So more matches tomorrow, A block action. We have United Empire's Callum Newman and Great O'Connor along with Jacob Austin Young going up against Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley, Gato, and Hiromu Takahashi. Shomakato, Shota Umino, and Yuya Uemura going up against the Knockout Brothers of Oscar and Yuto Ice along with Daiki Nagai. El Phantasmo, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Katsuya Murashima will go up against House of Torches, Ren Narita, Sonata, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Monster Sauce, Alex Zane and Lance Archer, along with Zane J. They'll go up against TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. Block A action is as follows. Bishiman, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi will go up against the War Dragons and Drilla Maloney and Shingo Takagi. Satoshi Kojima and Tai Chi will go up against Gabe Kidd and Yota Tsuji. El Desperado and Shuji Ishikawa will go up against House of Torches, Chase Owens, and Yujiro Takahashi. And then the main event for Block A will be Oleg Bolton and Toru Yano versus the House of Tortures, Don Fale, and Evil. On the 9th, we'll have semifinal stuff going down on the Block B, I believe. That will be El Phantasmo, or setting up for the semifinal, should I say. El Phantasmo, Hiroshi Tanahashi will go up against House of Torture members Ren Narita and Sonata. David Finley and Hiromu Takahashi will go up against United Empire's Callum Newman and Great Khan. Monster Sauce will face off against TMDK, and then Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura will go up against the Knockout Brothers on the final night of Block B action. Then on the 10th, we're going to have the World Tag League semifinals on each side. So we'll see as to who comes out from Block B, who comes out from Block A, and then we'll set up the finals for whenever that's stated for. I forget when. WWE action going forward. Saturday night's main event, folks. That'll be on Saturday, December 13th. This will be John Cena's final match. And there's going to be a watch along for y'all. Delores is going to be on here doing her thing, and y'all can join her and have some fun.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it will be Gunther versus John Cena, Bailey versus Sol Ruka, and in the non-title match, we have Cody Rhodes versus Oba Femi. Ladies and gentlemen, the next 2 shows I'm going to show you do not have any matches listed at this point, but we just want to let you know the time and the date. Also, this match will be on NBC Peacock. GCW has the Nick Gage Invitational. It's on the 13th on Triller TV. Okay? So, again, we don't have any matches listed. We're going on to Wrestling Revolver. It is season finale. And it's also on the 13th, also on Triller TV. I'm gonna be a busy soul on the 13th. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in and catch it all the fun, okay? Because I love Wrestling Revolver. They put on banger shows, so make sure you check them out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the spotlight, and this week I'm gonna bring J News to the front. This week, ladies and gentlemen, J News is on the spotlight train, so we're going to let him tell you about his spotlight of the week.
Yeah, folks. So spotlighting this week for the show is going to be a long-standing member of the WWE roster in Bailey. The main reason as to why I wanted to spotlight Bailey this week is because of what she has been putting together over the last month and a half to 2 months outside of the WWE. About a month and a half ago, I believe, Bailey put out a call via social media to independent women's wrestlers, basically inviting them all to send in their resumes and their and or match portfolios of themselves to her to a specific email address because Bailey was putting together a 3-day seminar for established independent women's wrestling talent around the globe. She took in all these different submissions and she went through them and she got back to all those young ladies she was interested in doing the first round of this for. She says she's going to continue to do this uh, given the time that she has on her schedule. She was able to put this together, the Lodestone Women's Group, the first group of the women. Photos and video of them were put out via Bailey's social media and all this different differentiating social media of the talent involved. So I wanted to give Bailey a big time spotlight and shout out for putting this together, this seminar together for these young independent women's wrestlers from around the globe. Bailey giving back to the industry, to the women specifically, basically, one, showing women's wrestling some love, two, giving back to the industry, and three, trying to fortify and definitely teach and coach the future of women's professional wrestling in her own way outside of the WWE bubble. So I wanted to give a lot of love and a shout out to Bailey and spotlight Bailey for doing that. A lot of different talent I saw in those photos that I have seen before, that Delores has spoken to y'all about in many different of our reviews of certain indie shows that we do here on the Hit the Ropes podcast. So big shout out to Bailey, aka Pam Martinez, for doing the damn thing for the women on the independent scene, and for the ladies that I can remember. I'm not trying to badmouth anybody or put anybody down, but for those that I can remember that I saw in those photos, I saw Sapphire Reed and Anita Vaughn from the UK indie scene. They were in those photos. I saw Nikki Blackheart, who is a fellow Dominican young lady doing her damn thing here in the American Indies. I saw her in those photos. And a lot of women that I've seen before as well. Big shout out to Izzy Moreno. She was in those photos, who was the young fan that Bailey always hugged in the NXT crowd all those years ago. She was in those photos. And a lot of women who I can probably name that I'm just forgetting right now, unfortunately. But there are a lot of women's talents on there that deserve to be there, obviously, due to their being able to put their portfolios and resumes out to Bailey. Bailey is planning on doing this again, I believe she said. Shout out to the other coaches who were part of this seminar as well. People that she got to speak for the Lodestar Women's Seminar. Big shout out to John Cena. He was there. He spoke to the ladies there. Shout out to TJ Wilson, Natty Neidhart, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Ivy Nile, Lyra Valkyria as well was there too. So there was that of it. Here's a picture of the final day of the Lodestar Women's stuff that went down as well. If you guys can see any of your favorite indie women stars in this photo, then point them out, put them in the comments. If you see it online, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, shout them all out. I see LJ Cleary there in the background as he rehabs himself back to getting into the ring. He's Lyra Valkyria's significant other, but he's also a great professional wrestler in his own right. So he was with Janai Kai. I see Janai Kai. Yeah. I can't forget about Janai Kai. She's there. And I'm forgetting about many other of the girls here who I've probably seen before. some time or another. So yeah, shout out to Bailey for doing this and taking the initiative for to doing this for independent women's wrestling. And I hope that this was of service to the ladies that attended. I hope it helped them in some way or another, and whatever advice, coaching, words of encouragement that they might have gotten, or or whatever fair criticism might have been involved during those days of that seminar. Please take that stuff, use it as fuel, and continue to go forward and do your best work wherever you might be doing it, be it on the independents or if you eventually get signed to large TV-based wrestling companies. Continue to kill it out there, ladies. But big shout out to Bailey for doing that. She's been my spotlight for the week.
Yeah, I really appreciate her, and I love that John Cena came because if you haven't been hearing lately, he's been doing this more often. Even with the dungeon, he wanted and TJ and Natty were like, "Well, we can shut off some time where you can come and practice." And he was like, "No, I want to come in when everybody else comes in." And so that is such a thing that he's giving back to wrestling, especially women's wrestling, and even having on the Saturday night's main event an opportunity for up and coming wrestler like Sol Ruka to face Bailey. Also giving Bailey a chance, which we haven't really been seeing much of her, and also giving Sol Ruka a chance. It's like it was, and even him picking the women's Iron Survivor match, it was like he picked really good people, upcoming people to give a shot light in the spot, a light to. So I appreciate it. And Bailey, listen, like Bailey is the jam. Listen, she got was it what that man saying that gift that time like what's all that movement back there? No, that was every time I see her, I'm like, hey, hey, how you doing? I see you been eating good. There you go. But ladies and gentlemen, J News is spotlight of the week, Bailey. Now let's get on over to the Hit Road Studios because I got to tell you about J News. Okay. So again, we back to the same old thing, ladies and gentlemen. Since J News back, we're gonna go back to um the rap lyric and the Chat GPT. Okay, so the Chat GPT for today, I don't know why that is right there. The Chat GPT for today is man, quit playing. J News the coldest to ever do it. Wrestling, movies, whatever. Dude break it down so smooth. You swear you been there when they filmed it. Ain't no ain't nobody talking like him. Ain't nobody breaking it down like him. J News the GOAT, period. If you ain't listening, you missing out. Straight like that.
All right, Chat GPT, I'll take that one, man. I'll take that one right there, Chat GPT. Uh, Thanks for hanging in there with me, folks. Finally back at it again here on the Hit the Ropes podcast, doing the podcasting thing. It's been a while. I feel like sometimes it feels like forever, but appreciate y'all for always watching. Appreciate y'all for coming into the comments and taking the time out of your day to join us as we review and preview the week that was in professional wrestling for you. I'll be back next week on Sunday. I'll be doing a solo dolo show. Delores has some things to take care of. So I'll be going through the week that was in professional wrestling for you next week on the 14th. So look forward to that. And yeah, I'm not too sure if I'll be doing True Heel Heat this month due to the fact that I haven't been watching the New Japan stuff this month. I'll probably end up doing World's End because AEW is the only wrestling I have been watching on a regular basis through and through. So you'll probably be able to catch me at the end of the month doing a preview show there with SP3 and Maggie. Outside of that, you'll probably see me again on True Heel Heat previewing and reviewing Wrestle Kingdom when it hits at the end of the day, because I will take the time out of my day to watch that and reset the year for New Japan on that end for myself. So yeah, folks, that's it for me this week. Appreciate y'all as always, and take it away, Dolores.
Ladies and gentlemen, good. CJ News be doing a good job. But now it's time for me to do a little housekeeping. I'm gonna tell you. Matter of fact, because I told you yesterday, I'm not gonna bombard you twice. I'm just gonna tell you about myself, and then we're gonna go into the um, what is it? The rap lyric that I have this week. Okay, so let me get J New down. There we go. Hi, I'm Delores. Okay, so I like when I said that to you all. I'm like, hi, I'm Delores. Y'all like Delores? We know you. Wait a minute, that's not it. That is not it. That is not it. Where is it at? Let me see. See, J News, that's what happened when you get old and you have to blow up your screen and then you get so where you can't see, you get old. I don't see it. And I know it's here, you all. That's the crazy thing. I know it's here. So I'm gonna tell you my rap lyric because I see that already loaded. Ladies and gentlemen, my rap lyric, I'm looking over to the side so I can read it. My rap lyrics from Manello, Bigger Than Big. It just be thinking they bigger than me. But who bigger than me when I'm bigger than big, huh? Ninja, I'm bigger than big. I'm bigger than these itches wigs. A lot of these rap O's lost in the sauce. Bucket, I'm big. I'm bringing it in. I'm the one setting the trends. Big Leo gonna do it again. Uh, listen, I felt that this week because I'm like, your girl sometimes she be low key. She be setting the trends out here. Ladies and gentlemen, I I like to have fun. I am very much oh, wait a minute. What y'all doing? There we go. Let's go to the Hit It Road studio. Y'all try to take me everywhere but where I needed to be. There we go. If you all do not know, I am Dolores. Yes, that's my little icon of Dolores Designs. Here, I'm a pink girl in my pink world, here to elevate your world with tech and sports and a little bit of fun. You can come all, one at a time. Listen. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say I appreciate everybody who supports this channel, who supports the Hit the Roast podcast. Thank you to Jay News, because he will be here tomorrow not tomorrow, next week by himself. But I'll be here in spirit. I'll be in the comments, go Jay News, go. That's how we're gonna get it down, ladies and gentlemen. But above all things, for those who support the Hit the Roast podcast, we will be having some new upgrades, some new changes at the start of the year. A little something, I'm gonna sprinkle a little razzle dazzle on the Hit the Roast podcast. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. Make sure you check out all the social medias. I will be getting on the Hit the Roast podcast social medias more often. I will be uploading the whole rest of the year at the end of December on Spotify. We are in the process of just trying to figure out what we want to add on to the Roast podcast social media because we do great things over here. We're great people. We want you to know. Okay, maybe you can catch some of Jay News's movie reviews over there on the Hit the Roast podcast too. But everybody, I'm just gonna go through them real quick. Make sure you check out 10 The Educated Natural to go to the women's closet, get business consultations and all those things. TheEducatedNatural.com is where you go. Miss Joy, she goes live on Monday and Thursdays, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:05 Pacific. Make sure you check her out in this upcoming month because she's been doing pop-up lives where she give away mystery giveaway. So you won't know what you're getting until it arrives at your house. So make sure you go and try to win. Also, check out Miss Shirley LG Gardner, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving away life Hey, I might just went out on me. Can you hear me now? I'll turn both of them on. Somebody's gonna be awesome. Okay. JD's like, I can't talk. JD, you can bring yourself up on stage. UGI Studios. Okay, check out UGI Studios. We talked about Miss Shirley. We talked about Miss Joy. She has a giveaway, so make sure you keep your notifications on for that. Jaleel 757, greatest moderator in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out for the NXT Deadline Watch Along yesterday, and make sure you tune in next week for John Cena's last match, where we'll watch the GOAT do his thing for one last time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking about my schedule. I switched up some things, so there's no commercial as of today, but I want to let you know every Monday is Canva Christmas. So this week we learned about wrapping and making Christmas tags. Next Monday, this Monday coming up tomorrow, we'll be doing mugs and Merry Christmas cards, which it probably will be a tumbler, but you can wrap it around mugs, tumblers, and whatever. We'll be doing home for Canva Christmas with me, where we talk. I'll show you how to make wall art and mini calendars. We also will be doing totes and t-shirts display. I just want to tell you, I love my little tote. And we'll be designing into the Canva New Year with a New Year bash. Okay, those come on every Monday. It's a video at 12 o'clock, which is noon. Put J News on the studio. Tuesday is a post, which is Christmas. Now will be Christmas jokes on posts. Those are at noon and 8 p.m. Video we'll have on Wednesday is on Christmas conversations, where we talk about topics that'll help us through the holidays. Short on Thursdays for Christmas calm. Video on Friday is Delores Loves Art. As you all know, I love the color paint, do everything else, so you'll get to see that. We have a post on Saturday that comes out 3 times, 12 a.m., 8 a.m., and 12 p.m. It's Christmas quizzes, okay? So make sure you come try to answer. Listen, I learned a lot of things making these quizzes, so I'm hoping you'll learn a little bit too. And then on Sunday, live every Sunday at 1 p.m. is the Hit the Ropes podcast, okay? I will be getting with you all eventually, because I will be doing a webinar. So we'll be doing some things, and I'll teach you a little something. So you gotta sign up. So make sure you check that out. And we'll have some fun people there. They might teach you some of their little crafts and different things. So come on down and have some fun. Okay. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, now that I got full access back to my studio, they tried to make me go into the little corner. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Ladies and gentlemen, also that's the key. Make sure you have 2 or 3 mics. I got 2 or 3 mics hooked up. So when Jay New said that one did, I just clicked another one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's hot in here. It is hot. It is burning. Listen, I know you was cold outside, but you didn't have to set this fire, because just like Seth Rollins, we burn it down. And every single week, I have to tell you the same thing. Please, baby boy, baby girl, them, they, it, whatever you want to be, I'll see you, but I don't want to see you with no clothes on. So do me a favor. I'm gonna make it a little easier. I'm gonna cut the lights off. Cut off the lights, but don't light that candle. Don't do that, because you don't set another player. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, me and J News, we appreciate you. We love you. I appreciate J News. I appreciate all of you all. And I'm gonna tell you in the nicest way possible. You better be nice to J News next week. I'm leaving him in charge of you all, okay? Be nice. Because if I come in the comments and you ain't nice, I'm gonna have to tell you about yourself, okay? Be nice. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, peace.